Have you ever looked at your elected officials and thought that you could do better? Suzerain gives you the opportunity to try your hand at politics. Suzerain is a choose-your-own-adventure political RPG game set in the fictional country of Swordland. It tasks the player with leading the country of Swordland through one of its most difficult times. Swordland is a country riddled in civil strife, economic recession, and dangerous neighbors. It's up to you and your administration to fix all this. You play as Anton Renee, and it's your job to steer the country wherever you see fit. Full of intrigue, difficult choices, and weaving your way through the rough political climate of a heavily divided country. Suzerain gives you a multitude of ways to accomplish this, the main three being the reformist path, the autocrat path, and the dictator path, with many more available depending on how you want to shape Swordland. Every decision on law affects how your people and the different factions see and treat you. If you defund the military and don't give them something in return, there's a good chance you could be couped. Being the good guy, by trying to give just about any reform, will have the majority of your party try to force compromise. When you make a promise, the people expect you to follow through. If you've made a public speech supporting relaxed immigration laws, for example, your people will then get angry if you tighten them. A good example of this, during a reformer or dictator run, is when a member of the Swordland Supreme Court asks for a secret meeting. He will ask that in return for swaying some of the other justices to whichever path you choose, he wants to be made the Chief Justice after it's all over. Agreeing to this guarantees his support, but also means you'll be asked to follow through on your promise. If you don't, he'll publicly admit your corruption to the press, hurting your public image. Speaking of the press, another ripple effect is with the media. Early in game, you're given the opportunity to make a deal with a media mogul named Marcel Cronti. In return for one free request, he will have his paper only give you good press. If you reject the deal, his paper will heavily scrutinize your actions, often spinning good actions, such as giving the British people more citizenship, as bad ones for the sovereignty of the nation of Swordland. This deal is done very early. Even so, it has repercussions for the rest of the game. His deal gives you a buffer of sorts for public opinion. In an event that happens much later, your running mate, Peter Vectern, will get involved in a scandal that has the ability to single-handedly smear your administration. If you've taken the deal, you suffer a minor blow to your reputation, while without it, even if you get the best outcome, where Peter admits his faults and agrees to drop out of his position as vice president, you will be thrashed by Marcel's paper. This game also makes you shake your beliefs to successfully rule your country. One of the best trade deals you can make is with a country called Wehelen and its dictator, Richter Smolik. In return for Wehelen oil, Richter asks you help in Operation Bear Trap, a military operation that always results in high brutish civilian casualties. The obvious moral answer is to reject the deal, but the deal both gives a decent bonus to Swordland's economy and grants Wehelen military assistance in case of a future war. You also have the option of a compromise, not actively getting involved with the operation, just closing your borders. This option has the benefits of still getting the oil, but you lose out on the military alliance and still have your international reputation stained. Still less than if you had taken an active role in the operation, but it can be used against you by your political opponents. You could also forego the deal entirely, but you lose out on desperately needed economic growth in one of Swordland's darkest times. It's also important to mention the game's music. It has one of the best soundtracks I've ever listened to. Here are just some of its wonderful tracks. Suzerain is more than just a fun game. It can have effects on the person playing it. In a book titled The Playful Citizen, Civic Engagement in a Mediatized Culture, published by Joyce Nays and Jérôme Jean's, there gradually seems to be an increasing academic interest in the uses and effects of games in different areas of people's lives. To date, little attention has been given to opportunities games might offer in relation to politics and citizenship. A notable exception is the research done by Kane, Madraw, and Evans, which explores the civil potential of video games in general. They argue that games might foster civic engagement. They find many parallels both in the structural form of games, for example, possibilities of some sort of simulation of parts of the political process, and the tools that facilitate collaboration and mentoring, as well as the content of some games, as in learning how certain democratic processes work, learning about a particular event or social issue, and how to debate and share and form one's own opinion. All of which can be found within Suzerain, and is needed to succeed. There is a free mobile version of the game on the Google Play Store. It allows for the prologue and first chapter to be played, so you can get a feel of your enjoyment of it. Though, if you wish to play any more than that, you'll have to pay a charge. And beware, the mobile version of the game is generally an update or two behind the desktop version. Suzerain is the pinnacle of a political simulator game. It holds no punches. It doesn't guide you on a correct path. The only correct path, in the game's eyes, is the one that keeps you in power. It's up to you to decide how that happens. Perhaps you accomplish this by reforming the Swedish constitution, making the country more free but perhaps open to more dangerous ideologies. Perhaps you get the help of powerful oligarchs to make you rich and them richer, but you'll always be under their thumb. Or, just maybe, you take a full, dictator-like control of your country, silencing your opponents, plunging your country into a war it might not win, but at least you stay in power just a little longer.